This cannot be real life. It just can't. Brings us to our newest segment, Joe Biden. You only have one job. I can still see it.
Person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
What's going on, guys? So we got to talk about Trump deranged Jon Stewart. Okay, so this guy has been going off about how awesome Joe Biden is and about how terrible Donald Trump is literally for years now. He's basically a comedian / Democrat shill propagandist, like so many others out here today, where basically the Trump derangement takes over instead of facts and reasoning. Okay, however, after that disastrous debate performance, even Jon Stewart got smacked in the face, and he woke up and realized that the writing was on the wall and that all of America was paying attention and that Joe Biden was going to be defeated, horrifically humiliated. And now, obviously, a lot of folks are going to be taken down with him in terms of the Democrat Senate and House of Representatives. Okay, so basically, it's just about to be an actual red wave coming this time. All the polls are pointing that way. So long as there's no other crazy Supreme Court decisions regarding abortion or something, then Joe Biden is doomed. And Jon Stewart knows it. He can't handle it. He goes to a full-blown meltdown. Without further ado, we're going to react to it. Let's get into it.
Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button.
And guys, just an FYI, I do need to interrupt this video due to the copyright. So anytime you see a video and I interrupt it like just over and over and over again, that's for a reason. Trust me, there's a method to the madness.
Last week we did a live show after the debate. Where did we leave off? This cannot be real life. It just can't. Woo. Now, since the debate, it's been quite interesting, actually. Many Democrats have expressed concern that the president has a hard time
standing up, breathing, talking, I mean, debating. Which is it? Because he don't seem like he does anything right these days.
expressing thoughts.
I want to ask you a question, which is your brain broken?
And then there is this other camp who thinks that those people should shut the up.
I would not want to be in a foxhole with any of the people who, you know, were clutching their pearls all of a sudden.
Pearl clutching and hand wringing.
Stop this whining, stop the complaining, stop trying to be the cool, cynical kids.
We're bedwetting and soaking all the way through the mattress.
We panic and piss our pants.
These guys basically think that we should ignore the problems that Joe Biden has and just roll with it, man. You just got to just roll with the punches. And I say no. That'd be like if the Republicans nominated Nikki Haley. For those who've been on this channel long enough, y'all know I am not a Nikki Haley fan. I'm not a conservative Republican. I just like Donald Trump and his policies because they're good. That doesn't mean I like every single person that's a conservative. Like Chris Christie technically qualifies. How many of y'all like Chris Christie?
What's he doing? The guy's, he's at 1.5. Who got louder, Bruce, Christie or Ada Hutchins? Christie. No, I heard they virtually booed him off the stage. He is not a fat pig, okay, this man. He is not a fat pig.
You see what I'm saying? But these guys, if the roles were reversed and they nominated Nikki Haley, they would stand behind Nikki Haley. Chris Christie, they will stand behind Chris Christie. Whoever they nominate, they're going to stand behind them. That's not me. And I don't even think that that's the Republicans either. Because I feel like if the Republicans get a bad candidate, they always lose. The Democrats got Joe Biden, who perpetuated all of these lockdowns and ridiculous policies, and they managed to win. I mean, sure, it was because of the pandemic, but still.
First of all, I'm not sure incontinence is the metaphor you want to go with. And second of all, when are we going to free Senator Fetterman from the Turkish prison he's being held in? You see, even before the debate, there had been some troubling moments of disconnect from the president.
Yeah, in which all the Democrat shills lied about and called cheap fakes. Remember that?
I think you're right. I think there is so much misinformation, disinformation, as we've been talking about. You talked about the video of the president wandering, and it's not true, right? The president wasn't wandering. He was talking to a parachuter that was right in front of him. And what you saw is the Republican Party really manipulating what was being said and what was being seen by the American people. It's also very insulting to the folks the viewers who are watching it. And so we believe we have to call that out. We've been calling it cheap fakes. That is something that came directly from the media outlets and calling it that, the fact checkers and calling it that. And so we're certainly going to be really, really clear about that as well.
You know, perhaps this chart saw Biden give a shout out to Representative Jackie.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
Unfortunately, Jackie was dead.
Oh my God! Wow!
It's something that the president seemed to have known 6 weeks earlier when he released a condolence statement about her death.
Holy cow.
So, Then there was the recounting of a recent conversation that the president had had with his counterpart, the president of France.
It's about to go down.
Iran from from France looked at me and said, you know, why, how long are you back for?
Right, even I didn't know about some of these. Like, this catching me off guard, bro. It's worse than I thought, guys. Like, Mayday, SOS, we need help. Like, this dude needs to go to a freaking nursing home. He needs a hospital. He needs the intervention.
Unfortunately, Mitterrand is also dead.
What the is going on?
For longer even than that first lady, so...
Not him connecting the dots.
And even on teleprompter, things continue to...
At the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name. The percentage of women who registered to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years.
That's the stupidest one.
I'm being brutally honest with him. Somebody should tell him this.
State of the Union. Concern dropped a little bit at the State of the Union. He kind of nailed it.
No, guys, he clearly was on. So he was on some of that Hunter. He had to be on something at that State of the Union because it didn't make no sense. He was talking loudly, but he slurred the heck out of a lot of his words. And it was very strange because Joe Biden has never been energetic for years. So he clearly went down in energy level. And I don't think you could just on command just suddenly be energetic. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It don't matter. I don't care how much sleep he got. That State of the Union address from him was just strange.
But then the debate happened and we kind of, what the what? Now, to my mind, the debate was a shocking display of cognitive difficulty.
What? What are you talking about? I can't believe these people. What do you mean shocking? Where the hell have you been, Stewart?
But there were many viewers who felt it was not as noteworthy as Biden's opponent in the debate.
Shouldn't the discussions also be about Trump's fitness to serve?
Every time he opened his mouth, he said something insane or that was a lie.
It's pretty amazing that, 90% of the conversation is around Joe Biden's style. When up on that stage, Donald Trump was engaged in a level of pathological lying that we've never seen.
Why aren't there calls for Trump to drop out? Where are they?
Yeah. Why doesn't anyone ever speak out about Donald Trump?
I mean, are we living like in the Twilight Zone where people don't speak ill of Donald Trump? Like, what am I missing here? As far as I know, basically every news media network, and the Daily Show included, is always speaking ill of Donald Trump. Only Fox News is pretty much his only ally, and they criticize him on there too.
Or let's say every night for 10 years.
Thank you.
I take your point.
Thank you.
Not me, because I wasn't here, but other people. I could not believe what I was watching. Just thinking about it again just makes me want to rip up my... Why do we make this out of such strong material? Rather than respecting the American people and having an honest, at least partial conversation about what we had all seen, we were told immediately, these are not the droids you're looking for.
It's because the Democrats are lying shills and pieces of garbage. Of course, these politicians and news media is going to lie. That's what they've been doing for years. You think suddenly now they're going to tell the truth? The jig is up, and like anyone caught in a lie, their only out is to lie more, not to tell the truth and finally just expose themselves and finally do something that they're not even good at, which is telling the truth. They're going to keep lying.
He has a stutter. He hasn't debated in 4 years.
He was almost over-prepared.
He had an off night. People have an off night.
You know, the president traveled 6 time zones forward to G7, and he was also continued to do his presidential duties. And also he had a cold. He was jet lagged.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
He'd been home for almost 2 weeks. He was jet lagged?
I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions.
How big is that fucking jet? The point is, for a campaign based on honesty and decency, the spin about the debate appears to be blatant bullshit. And the redemption tour hasn't...
Welcome to the Democrat Party, Jon Stewart. It's about time you took your red pill. Okay, I wish I had a sample red pill for this video. I don't got one, but that's basically what this is. Now people are finally realizing that the Democrats are liars. Who the hell knew?
Well, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president.
I mean, okay, yes, it's funny to make fun of this, but like I said, he clearly was talking about Kamala Harris, and then later on, he's also referring to Ketanji Brown Jackson, which most of these clips they do take out, but I'm honest on this channel. I'm not gonna bag on Biden if I clearly understand what he meant. This one, in my opinion, is a little unfair, even if it's fun to make fun of Sleepy Joe.
Yes, Queen.
I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
I gotta tell you, somehow, confusion with confidence is even more unsettling. Or,
if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
Not good. Believe me, not good.
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do, that's what this is about.
That's not what this is about!
Trump derangement syndrome. Hatred of Donald Trump so intense that it impairs people's judgment.
There are no participation trophies in endgame democracy. Oh, yes. I remember FDR saying, well, if the Nazis take over Europe, at least both teams had fun.
And these guys are hilarious because they're still going off of the orange man bad. Donald Trump is the boogeyman narrative. Guys, he was president for 4 years. Wake the hell up. Prior to the pandemic, America was going just fine. There was no problems whatsoever in America. Everything was going great. To imply that rights were being taken away and people couldn't vote and all of this stuff, it makes absolutely no sense.
As this new information has been introduced, we just learned about this.
That's cap and you know it. Why the f you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop f***ing lying.
And now we're all being told, well, you should have thought of that before you knew it.
We can't go against the will of the voters. Democrats who voted in all 50 states in the primary.
The will of the vote. Guys, here's the thing I want to say about the will of the voters. They've been listening to propaganda like MSNBC for years. Why the hell do you think that people vote the way that they do? It's because they listen to the Daily Show. They listen to MSNBC, CNN, ABC, regular NBC, right? There's all these news media, CBS, all woke as hell. So the will of the voters is really just the will of the propagandists. So Joe Biden is who they propped up artificially. In some places, no primary. Like Florida, no primary, just it's Joe Biden. We're just going to put him at the top. You can't even vote for Marianne Williamson or Dean Phillips or Cenk Uygur, even though he don't really count. But you didn't have no choices. So they're trying to act like, well, the voters made the choice. They didn't make the choice. You propagandists made the choice. And now you got to damn lay in this bed with the pee in it.
And he will be our nominee. End of story.
That is who they want to be their nominee.
He's the nominee because millions and millions of people voted for him to be our nominee.
There was no real primary. Biden ran against Dean Phillips. That's not even a real person.
Wow.
An arthritic status quo, unable or unwilling to respond in any way to the concerns of voters who just received new and urgent information about their candidate, also erodes confidence and faith in the system of government.
I finally figured it out.
Get on board or shut the up Get on board or shut the up is not a particularly compelling pro-democracy bumper sticker.
That's the Democrats for you.
What are you going to do? Can't we stress test this candidacy? Can't we open up the conversation? Do you understand the opportunity here? Do you have any idea how thirsty Americans are? It is crushing our spirits. Do you have any idea what could be ahead of you? All we want is for someone to keep it 100.
You fool! You fool! You fool!
The percentage, not the age. That's all we want. Here's an idea. I'll spitball it. It's last minute. Anybody who wants to gives their sales pitch of how they can make democracy more responsive to the people it is supposed to serve. You could bang it out. Take the advice of your own candidate.
Do you think there is any Democrat who could defeat Donald Trump other than you?
Probably 50 of them.
This guy's living in a pipe dream. That's not how the Democrats work. They don't change course and course correct, okay? They stay the course. That's how they work. They basically rigged the primaries in Biden's favor to begin with. Now they're standing on their laurels and trying to say that the voters selected Joe Biden, which is like only partially true. They propagandized and rigged their way into the voters selecting Biden. And now that's just what they're stuck with. And guys, I am just loving these meltdowns, like these meltdowns, the daily meltdowns of the left because Joe Biden is so terrible. It's hilarious because we've been saying this for years, even before this channel started. Again, under a year old. I've been saying this for years now, since way back in like 2019. I've been saying Joe Biden was terrible, and I hope that this guy doesn't even run for president. He need to drop out. He too old. He's goofy. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And it looks like people like me were right, okay? And we've been calling it. The leftists have been in denial for years, including recently with all the cheap fake nonsense. And now they can't handle the truth not because they thought that we were making it up. It's because they were exposed. They know that the American people are onto them and that the propaganda cannot protect Joe Biden and it cannot win this election for them like they thought it could. They thought as they just propagandized their way to the top that it would work. It's failing miserably and they're having meltdowns pretty much every freaking day at this point, and I'm loving it, and I hope you guys are too. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
No, it cannot be.